Good morning, fanboys and fangirls, and welcome back to Nerds on Topic. Today, well, it's really good to have my desk back for one. Hopefully, there's no audio problems like there were last week. And it's also the news, by the way, for September, 23rd to the 30th.
Ready? Pick it up now!
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different. I actually got a couple of sampling bags of a new coffee from a company called Drift Away, who is I don't know if they're monthly or weekly coffee subscription service. I reached out to them for a little bit of sponsorship. They said they weren't exactly able to sponsor me, but they did send me like 4 free little bags of coffee. So I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to actually be sampling all of them on mic for all of you. So this is going to be pretty fun for me because I haven't tried any of these yet, and some of them are really interesting sounding. And so today's coffee is it's TAM is what they abbreviated it to. It's like Tanzania and then like 2 other places that's names I can't pronounce. So I'm just going to call it TAM. This is TAM, guys. And it's a custard, buttery, lemon lime kind of fruity profile, apparently. So pretty interested in seeing how this is. It roasted not too long ago. And just brewed fresh right now in my handy dandy little French press. So let's see how it tastes. It's the most interesting of the flavors sounding wise so far that I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. So here we go. Oh, that's very light. Ooh, smooth. A lot less earthy than I was expecting. A little sweet and sour. Not sour, but like it's got that really nice bitter taste to it. And no, I don't have any cream or anything in this. I'm just drinking this straight. Don't want to muddy the flavor for my first tasting of it. But yeah, in the next episode, I will be putting a little bit of cream in it, of course, purely because that's how I prefer my coffee. But yeah, no, it's pretty dang good. Oh, yeah, I was really surprised. I was kind of hesitant about this one with the whole custard lemon lime description to it. I have put butter in my coffee before. It's not that bad, actually. It's got a very interesting taste to it. Yeah, I would totally suggest this, especially for someone who's looking for a little bit lighter of a roast, which, if you guys don't know, a light roast actually tends to have more caffeine than a dark roast. So yeah, this will get me wired up, which is good because I was getting a little bit of sleepy sleep right now. So let's get into things, guys. I hope you're ready for this because I got some interesting things going on in my week so far. Been working on some drawings. If you guys follow my Instagram, you might notice that I posted up some I guess you could say concept sketches for the Mighty Anima Brawlers, and I'm also currently working on a mock-up cover just for funsies. So I thought it was fun. Like these are some pretty fun characters to play around with. Their designs are interesting, very different, but also very like cohesive in the way they feel. Have I done anything else this week? I've worked. I've researched for you guys. Oh, I started playing Dragalia Lost. More about that during the game section. What else? Had a little bit of a Avatar: The Last Airbender resurgence. Been interested in watching that lately, as well as been revisiting Teen Titans again on the DC streaming app. So much fun. Oh my gosh, I love this show still. What else have I been doing? Not much. Been talking to people, running into other podcasters, fun times. I was at work today actually, and I was talking to one of my coworkers about my podcast, and someone heard and they started getting really interested because they had no idea how podcasting worked, and so they were asking me a bunch of questions. So thank you very much, you guys. Kind of made my day too, because like it's not very often I get asked about this kind of stuff. I'm still pretty new myself, and I'm really glad that there's at least someone out there who's interested in my take on things and stuff like that. And also all my loyal listeners that have been tuning in day after day, week after week. Thank you so much, because this is the beginning of what I feel like is the true official season 1 of Nerds on Topic, or as I'm going to call it, volume 1. The volume name? Vidya Games and More. As this week for the this month, I should say, for the topics, all of them are going to be video game related. So look forward to this week's Banjo-Kazooie news, as well as next week's BlazBlue or Blaze Blue. I still don't really know how to pronounce it. I'm going to look it up a little bit more. There's no E at the end of Blaze, so it kind of seems like Blaz. I don't know. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, so let's actually get into the news now. And as always, we're starting with the movies. Birds of Prey has finally cast their Huntress and Black Canary. So Margot Robbie is going to be continuing her role as Harley Quinn for the movie. And what is it? Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be Huntress. She's best known for, or not best known, but she's known for one of her roles in one of my favorite movies, actually, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Such a good movie. Oh, man. And then, let's see, who is it? Black Canary has been cast as, I want to say her name is Journey Smokette Bell, but that doesn't actually sound like a real name. She's from, what is it? Underground? I don't know what that is. I don't know what I was writing. Anywho's, it's also got a release date for February of 2020. So 2020 is going to be a big year, guys. We got Godzilla vs. King Kong, we got Birds of Prey, and we got a ton more coming out. I am super excited for the year after the next. Oh, man. So, what's after that? Goosebumps. We all love Goosebumps. Childhood book series. Had a movie not too long ago starring Jack Black as R.L. Stine. Well, it was just confirmed that Jack Black will be returning for Goosebumps 2 as, once again, R.L. Stine. Super excited. Love his energy. I'm actually planning on going to go see A House with a Clock in Its Walls, or whatever it's called. It looks pretty interesting. I know he plays one of the leads in that. Yeah, just keeps being pretty good. Hellboy. It's getting a slight delay in its production and release. It's being pushed back to spring of 2019, so around April 12th, I do believe. I'm not exactly sure why, but speaking of Hellboy, old Hellboy, Ron Perlman, just got cast in the... what is it? Oh, the Sony-led... Sam. I thought I said Sammy-led. I was like, who the fuck is Sammy? Anyways, the Sony-led Monster Hunter movie as a... what's the word? A admiral, as admiral, someone who leads a hunter crew, and then this other guy who I don't really know who he is except for the fact that he was in Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. He plays one of the three guys who helps Paul Rudd out with the whole what's the word? Wow, I am blanking all of a sudden. Criminal thingamabob company startup they did. Anyhoozle, he's the black guy. His name's I.T. Harris. I think that's what I wrote. I.T. Harris, who has been cast as a guy named Link, who is a sniper. He's a rap. He used to be. He might still be a rapper. He probably is still a rapper, but he's also an actor. And yeah, so he's gonna be. He was in Ant-Man, and he's gonna be in Monster Hunter as Link. And no, not Link from The Legend of Zelda, though that would be pretty cool. Let's see. There's going to be some more movie delays. Gambit has been pushed back to March 13th of 2020. X-Men: Dark Phoenix has been pushed to June 7th of 2019. And Alita: Battle Angel, which honestly I feel like whenever I was younger, it was always Battle Angel Alita. But I don't know. It sounds better as Battle Angel Alita than Alita Battle Angel. But that's getting pushed back to February 14th because for some strange reason, actually not strange at all, I totally understand why they're doing it, they are putting out a PG-13 version of Deadpool in Battle Angel Alita's old release date, December 21st. So that'll be an interesting experiment, re-releasing a movie as a lower age range to try to pull in more of a crowd, though it's Deadpool, so I'm pretty sure all these people already saw it, and everyone who already saw it is going to go see it again because it's Deadpool 2. Yeah, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, who was and is Deadpool, is also doing a shit ton of movies right now. Like, he's doing that Michael Bay Underground 6 movie for Netflix. He's doing Detective Pikachu for Legendary. And now he's also working on another movie for... Who is putting this out? Did I even write down? I don't even think I wrote down. But he's working on a movie with the producer from Stranger Things that I don't think has a title yet, but he plays a video game, not just a video game character. He plays a background video game character named Guy. So he's just that guy in the background who finds out that he's in a video game and that they're about to get replaced with a sequel. So he has to find a way to save his world by convincing everyone that they're actually in a video game. That'll be fucking hilarious. Can't wait to see that. I didn't see a date for production or anything for that. Totally going to keep my ears open for that. I hope you guys are open for that. I just said that a lot. That, all that in a bag of chips. Moving on. Dark Phoenix trailer just came out. New X-Men costumes kind of look familiar, like from a comic or something. I don't know, maybe from X-Men Blue. I don't know. They look kind of old though. And the what is it? The next movie after. Oh, the next Sony movie after Venom is supposed to be Morbius, the living vampire, who is weirdly being played by previous actor of the Joker for DC, Jared Leto. That'll be interesting. Why is he all of a sudden interested in playing comic book characters? And why Morbius? I just cannot see him as Morbius. I could barely see him as Joker, though he did play a decent Joker in my opinion. Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. Morbius is a really interesting character. I think he had a lot of run-ins with Blade, so maybe there's going to be a little bit of tie-in there with Blade. Yeah, that looks like all the real big movie news I've got for the week, and so let's continue on. Yep, still good. Actually, it kind of gets better as you drink it. Then again, it's also cooling down, so I can actually taste it a little bit more, and it's helping my throat. Because doing this hurts. I hope you all appreciate the sacrifices I make for you. So, we are in TV news, guys. And Daredevil is back on Netflix on October 19th. But the trailer has dropped, and Fisk is back in a pristine white suit. Super excited. Love Fisk as a villain. The Kingpin is a great villain for Daredevil, especially all up in the Hell's Kitchen. And yeah, so, you guys ever heard of a comic book series called The Boys? It's a pretty good series, honestly. I loved it when it was coming. Like, I don't know if it's still coming out or not, but while I was growing up, I heard about it when I first moved to California about 9 years ago, and it's pretty damn interesting. Like, it literally has a character who is based on what is it? Sean? No, not Sean. Excuse me, Simon Pegg, who is from Shaun of the Dead. That's why I wanted to say Sean. But weirdly enough, so it's getting a TV series by I think HBO, and he's not playing the character. What's his name? Wee Huey, who's based on him. Someone else is, but like they just did a kind of teaser cover for the season, and it's recreating the cover from the first volume of the comics, and it looks great. It's a satire on superhero comics, like who watches The Watchmen? Well, who polices the heroes? Like, it's basically a group of government-handled agents who take superhero pills that turn your shit blue, and they take down superheroes who are getting too full of themselves. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm excited. I really want to watch this because I loved the comics. It covers some really dark material, and it's what I learned what Red Wings were, everybody. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I was pretty young to find out what that was. Going on from there, MST3K. I repeat, MST3K Season 12 has a release date, thanks to Kickstarter again. I love this show so much. MST3K is amazing. For those who don't know what MST3K is, it's Mystery Science Theater 3000, where a comedian and a bunch of puppets sit around and make fun of really bad movies throughout the entire thing. It's how I watched all of the Gamera movies growing up as a kid, which are amazing. And yeah, no, I fucking love this shit. And when they did a reboot of it a couple years ago, I was fucking in love with the new guy who's playing the mook who is stuck by the corporation to watch all these terrible movies and come up with random inventions. And yeah, so the release date for season 2 of the reboot, season 12 of the series, is going to be Thanksgiving this year, so November 22nd. And it's also the 30th anniversary of the show. So that's really cool. I'm excited. I wonder what kind of movies they're going to be covering this time. Other than that, looks like Making a Murderer Season 2 is going to be coming out on October 19th. Don't really care. Didn't really like the series all that much. What else? More original Netflix anime. Diablo 3 has been announced as, instead of being a live action show, is going to be an animated show. And that's pretty much all the news they have right now. They're still in the process of writing, so they're in pre-production still. Super excited to see where this goes because their Castlevania anime is amazing. And I know with like Diablo and all of the lore it has from its games, it's going to be fan-fucking-tabulous. Going on from there, the Master of Darkness, John Carpenter, is... well, he's making a Prince of Darkness TV show, supposedly. He also said that he'd like to do it, and he might do other TV shows. But for those who don't know, Prince of Darkness is a really low-budget horror movie he put out after kind of like the failure of one of his previous projects. That shall go unnamed here. And it's so much fun. There's memes of it all over the place. Go look it up if you haven't seen it yet. I don't know where to find it because I didn't bother looking. Moving on. It looks like Marvel's Runaways has officially announced they are done filming season 2, which is an amazing not Netflix. Might as well be Netflix. Hulu original series. Featuring one of my favorite Marvel teams of all time, the Runaways, which, so the second season isn't very far away. I'm excited to see what's going on. Really loved how they portrayed all the characters in the show. Hopefully they can do everything before the little girl gets too old. Or before any of them get too old, I should say. Unless they start going into the newer comics, too. That'd be killer. Pun not intended, for those who know what I'm talking about. Um, Elseworlds, a line of comics by DC from years ago that explored the many different dimensions of the multiverse. Stories that were never considered part of canon but brought us all very much joy, including Superman the Red Sun and Gotham City by Gaslight. We now have the Arrowverse crossover, which is now being called Elseworlds, which is going to feature Batwoman, Superman, Lois Lane, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and who knows who else. Like, it's going to have the Monitor as a villain, or maybe not a villain, which it also might be hinting at another future storyline for those who know DC continuity. Hint, hint. What is it? Infinite Crisis? Yeah, Infinite Crisis, where the Anti-Monitor eats a bunch of universes, so there was only one universe left. So excited to see that. And then the last bit of TV news is not one, not two, but 4 Titans promos, everyone. Which makes sense because the show's coming out on October 12th. Super excited to see that. Sorry if you can hear that bell in the background. That rings every hour on the hour and every half hour on the half hour. It's really annoying. Going on from there. Each one of the little promos shows off one of the characters specifically. It also shows, like, the first trailer we got is not going to be a very good indication of how the show's going to go. The first trailer was super dark. All these promos were serious, sure, but also had some very big comedic tones to them, which I really enjoy. I'm super excited for this. Just new Titans material in general. Also, we got to see Starfire without her fur coat. Sure, she was, being experimented on by a lab like she was in the comics, but it looked like an Earth lab this time. Also, she's hiding her alien heritage, it seems like. But also, we get to see, and I can now die a happy man, Beast Boy transforming in live action. I'm good. So, he does change into green animals like he should, and while he might not be green all the time, like, his skin and stuff is still green, like, right before and right after he transforms, and slowly fades back to being a normal color while he still retains the green hair, which I'm fine with. He's obviously still going to be the comedic character that we all need, because Beast Boy is adaptive. He fits whatever role he needs to be, and I am super excited for this. You all probably already know this, though, as I talk about it literally every chance I get. Sorry about my voice breaking there, guys. One moment while I take a drink of coffee. And, this is probably a good time for us to take a quick little intermission. Hello, intrepid adventurers, and are you bored with your everyday life? Fear not, we have a solution. Come and check out our host, Kevin, at his Instagram, at Not Coffee. That's coffee with a K. Check out his art and see what's going on in the mind of our host. Who knows, you might just find a new thing that you can check out every day. Now we return back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, welcome back, everybody. Oh, man, it is really hot in my apartment right now. Like, my apartment is built like a brick oven with 2 walls being made of brick. Then I've got tile flooring. It traps the heat in here like no one's business. It's ridiculous. And then, being in a high heat climate doesn't help either, so just holds everything in. Ugh, I am sweating my balls off right now because I can't turn on my fan, or else the audio would be in the background. I'd rather not have that because I want you all to have a nice, clean, crisp audio experience because I love you. I love you so much. I don't think you understand. Anyways, on to video games. So, PS4 is finally learning to play with others, at least with Fortnite for now. They are doing a little bit of a beta test for cross-platform play with PS4, Xbox, the Switch, mobile, and PC. So hopefully everything goes well and they continue doing this. They said they're going to be doing it mostly with just third-party games, which is kind of sad. And they're not really sure how much they're going to integrate. Hopefully, eventually, they're just like, fuck it, let's just be friends with everyone. Because PS4 is a little bit too exclusive for me. I can't play with the few people that I do know who play Fortnite because all of them just play on their PS4s. Fuck. And that's partially why I don't play Fortnite. Even with all the crazy ass news they've got going on, guys. Like, yeah, I know about the weird purple block that went into the lake and then exploded and then became a floating island in the sky that's currently moving around. There's way too much Fortnite news to cover because there's literally something new every single day. And I'd just rather not do a recap on that. It's too changing. Just like I don't like covering over game notes from what's that other game that I literally had like 30 different news feeds for? I don't know, probably Destiny. Anywho, Pokemon Go, because that doesn't have all that much news to it. But right now, Mewtwo is in raids for everyone. So not just EX raids. And this is going to continue for everyone until October 23rd. And in its place for the EX raids is Deoxys, starting October 1st. So today, if you guys are listening to this, the day it drops. And surprisingly, Pokemon Go was used for publicity. They randomly introduced a brand new Pokemon that I honestly thought was totally fake at first. It literally looks like a golden Ditto with a red wire sticking out its ass and a nut on top of its head. It's actually a wing nut, and yeah, it is a wire because it's called Meltan. And they had like a video of Professor Oak and Professor Willow talking about it. And if you try to catch it, it just turns into a Ditto, which I find hilarious because it's literally just using the sprite for a Ditto as its main body with a giant wing nut on top. It's just gold instead of pink. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm interested to see where it comes from because I fucking love Ditto. I want to see if it's just a Ditto clone, which would be ironic because supposedly Ditto is a clone of Mew, a failed clone as opposed to Mewtwo. That's a conspiracy for another day. If you guys want to see me like cover conspiracies like that, drop me a notice, like weird video game conspiracies or weird anime or cartoon conspiracies, like the Pixar theory and stuff like that. Drop me a note in the box, and I'll start doing stuff like that if you guys are interested. I might make an entire month of stuff like that, just like I'm doing with video games right now. Continuing on from there, games. Okay, gamers, start buying Tostinos or Totinos or whatever it is. Their pizza stuff will start getting you free Assassin's Creed shit. If you buy and enter the code from Totino's, pizza rolls, and other related products, you can start getting experience packs and free weapons and gear from them for up to 12 codes. Completely free, as publicity, as crossover shit. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I feel like a lot of companies have been doing that stuff lately, especially like just advertising straight up on packaging. Like at the store I work at, like you see game cans. I think with Assassin's Creed Odyssey for Rockstar, all over it. Any hoozles. So all of Telltale Games, their games are, I think, getting auctioned off. They were in the process of working on a Stranger Things game sanctioned by Netflix, but since the whole company thing happened and they're shutting down, Netflix is currently looking through other ways to get an interactive story put out there related to their product. And with that, we have a little bit of news on why they're getting shut down. It seems like at the last minute, with no warning whatsoever, all of all of Telltale Games backers just kind of like dropped out. So they had no monetary income, and because of that, they had to just start shutting down. So the last people are working on some of the last things they have, like the last chapter of the Walking Dead Telltale game. And I think that's going to be it for the company, which is kind of sad. Like, they've been innovators in the interactive storytelling genre of game, and like they've worked on so many really cool projects. It's really sad to see them go. So on the 26th, PS4 is getting a exclusive Castlevania bundle, which will include Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. That'll be pretty interesting. Too bad I don't have PS4. I love me some Castlevania. I love me some Metroidvania games. Sure, I only play like 2 or 3 of them a year, but like they're so much fun. They just take up way too much time if you really want to explore in them. So really fun game, Monster Hunter Stories, is now on mobile devices for iOS and Android, for about $20. If you guys have a 3DS, it's also on there, but they also have a free demo on the 3DS. So if you want to try it out before getting it on your phone or getting it for the 3DS or whatever, you can go ahead and download that real quick. I know I played through the demo, and it was a lot of fun. I really like the art style. It's very Pokemon meets Monster Hunter, you know? Because you're not, like, hunting monsters. You're actually riding them and fighting with them. It's an interesting concept. So let's finish one more piece. Sorry, 2 more pieces of video game news before I go on to what I really want to talk about in video games. And that is Vanilla WoW is back. Or at least it will be. For those who are interested, you can buy $50 tickets for BlizzCon. Virtual tickets, I should say. That will also get you a free download code for a demo for Vanilla WoW. Which, I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know what it's like anymore starting up, but you'll get a free little demo of either the Alliance or the Horde, and you can play through like 8 levels of gameplay. But like, I miss Vanilla WoW. I really enjoyed it back in the day, way back whenever it first came out, back when things were simpler, and level 60 was the highest you could get. Whoo, boy. Man, it was fun. But yeah, so that's kind of just, you know, saying that, oh, hey, we're bringing Vanilla WoW back on its own server for those who want to go back to how the game was when we first started. And then BlazBlue, like I was saying earlier, still don't know how to say it properly. Central Function? I think Central Function is getting a special edition for the Switch. When that's coming out has not been announced, but they are working on it currently. I'm super excited for that. One of the few fighting games I really enjoy other than Smash Brothers. And I really also want to get in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So, yeah. Okay, so getting into what I feel like is going to be the meat of my little talk for video games. I downloaded and have been playing the brand new Nintendo game for mobile devices, Dragalia Lost, in which you play as Yuden, a son, the 7th son, I should say, of a king who, you know, is kind of a I wouldn't say peace lover, but like a defender of his city-state, who has been tasked by his father to go find and make a bond with one of the ancient worms, the Windworm. His sister, Zeldia? I forgot her name. Fuck. And her fairy, Not. I just realized it's almost like Zelda, and then she has a fairy who'd be like Navi. Anyways, they follow their brother out onto the adventure where they encounter a mysterious woman from what I suspect is the future, and that woman is actually his sister, Yuden's sister, who's the same one who's traveling with him, who's sent back to the past to try to stop him from making the bond with the dragon in the first place. So this all takes place in like the prologue, and it's pretty interesting. I really enjoyed it. There is a lot to download for this game. So like I'd honestly just do the batch download in the very beginning. It's like probably an extra 2 gigabytes on top of the actual game. The graphics are really good. It's fully voice acted in English. It's got a good soundtrack to it. Really good feel. It's got a little bit of a gachapon thing where you can collect extra members for your party through random summoning. And then you can also transform into a dragon or an imp or whatever it is once you've unlocked that ability. It's really cool. Super simple. It's swiping. It's tapping. It's a JRPG through and through. It's got a good story that has good momentum to it. Very short missions that you can just sit and play for a sec while you're on the bus or pooping, like I know most people are probably going to end up playing it as. I was playing it like on my 10-minute breaks at work, and then on my 30 minutes I was doing research for everything else. And I'd play it like on my walk. So super fun game. I love the artwork for it. I'm excited to see where it goes. If you guys want, I will keep you up to date on the story. If not, I will keep out any spoilers for it. But yeah, it's really fun. Also, I find funny they use rupees as one of their money sources. I wonder if all this fairies and Z names are references to another Nintendo property, Legend of Zelda, if you didn't know. Yeah, so that is video games for the week. And now we are on to anime and manga news. I'm sorry for any of my Japanese listeners, which I don't think I have. We've got High Dive, guys. So I talked about High Dive in the last news with my good man Swa, who are bringing the English dub of Made in Abyss to us, which I'm super excited for. It actually sounds really good. So I would say that like High Dive is the Hulu to Crunchyroll's Netflix. And they are adding in Bloom Into You for their simulcast for the new season, as well as they are premiering as of the recording of this, Girl in Twilight. So October 1st, when you guys listen to this, hopefully, you can go check that out on High Dive. Square Enix, speaking of JRPGs a little bit ago, is working on an anime with Straight Edge and one of my favorite anime studios, Trigger, for an unknown project. It's got a website up. I don't remember the name of it. If I really feel like it, I'll link it in the show notes. If not, sorry, guys. Other than that, we've got Adult Armor Shop, a manga about, well, an armor shop, is getting a fantasy armor shop, I should say, is getting an anime adaptation by, what is it? iMagica Image Works. Yeah, never heard of them. But it looks like it'll be interesting, and I think one of the clouds in it is shaped like panties, which I do not doubt. Funimation is adding a few new anime to their Simodub list this season, featuring, of course, Goblin Slayer, which is all over the place right now, guys. I'm still looking at it right up here on my little shelf that I've got in front of me. I have not started reading it. I swear I will. And then on top of that, we're getting Ulysses, that Joan of Arc series, and Radiant, which I'm super excited for, and what is it? Serena Kagura Shinoku, I don't know. Another anime I can't pronounce and I don't remember. Sorry, guys. Going on from there, we've got a Goblin Slayer spin-off, Daikatana of Singing Death, is getting its own manga. That'll be interesting. I think it's going to be only 9 chapters long. And lastly, Sound Euphonium, one of the few music anime I actually follow. The second movie has now revealed its release date for April 19th of 2019. I am excited. Hibiki Sound Euphonium, or Hibiki Euphonium, however you want to say it, follows a girl and her trek through the band life in high school as she plays the euphonium, which is kind of like a little trombone, kind of sort of, not trombone, trumpet. What the fuck am I thinking? I don't know anymore. Don't ask me. I don't listen to music. You people know this already. Any hoozles, on to my favorite segment, comic books. Or at least one of my favorite segments, I should say. And as always, I start off with the reading of the comics list for the week, going through DC, Marvel, Image, and others. Starting off with DC, because it's the best and alphabetical order. Doomsday Clock number 7 rings in at number 1. Detective Comics 989. We got The Flash number 55. Action Comics 1003. Jesus, that's ridiculous. And Titans 26. Then we've got over on the Marvel side, Amazing Comics, Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, it's not wrong. It is an amazing comic, but Amazing Spider-Man number 6, Old Man Logan number 48, Spider-Man and Deadpool number 39, Star Wars Poe Dameron 31, and X-Men Blue, I forgot to write on the number 4. And then over in Image, we've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 31, followed by Rick and Morty, number 42. And then we got Redneck number 15, Wayward number 29, and Die, number 3. I just really wanted to say it because literally die is followed by an exclamation point after every one. Moving on from there, we're going to get into the actual comic book news. It looks like the Rob Liefeld Uncanny X-Men is real. At least for a variant cover right now. Then we've got James Cameron's Avatar movie is getting a Dark Horse comic treatment that will have a story taking place during the original movie. Other than that, it looks like we've got some sad news. Batman artist Norm... wow, did I really... I think that... Norm Breyfogle died at the age of 58. Cause of death is unknown. He is most known for his work for the Batman series. He worked on it for over 6 years. So rest in peace, Norm. Thank you for your contribution to comic books. And moving on from there, it looks like Steve Aoki, hey, speaking of nerdy side of music, with a DJ, is working with a great team of artists and writers for a ongoing original comic title series named Neon Future. It had a big explanation. I really didn't feel like going and reading it. But if you want to get it, the first issue will be for free on October 4th at the Impact Theory New York Comic Con panel. So you can go pick up a free copy of it there, or you can sign up for the newsletter and get a free digital copy. Sean Gordon Murphy, best known for his work on the story for Batman White Knight, is working on an original comic for the man who replaced Batman after his spine was snapped in half, Azrael, in 2019. Going on from there, Boom Studios has gotten the rights to do a Magicians comic book series, which is going to be very interesting. Magicians is a very dark take on... I want to call it like the not Wizard of Oz, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series meets Harry Potter, but like with a lot of drugs and sex, and someone literally swallows a cup of a goat man's cum to become all powerful. Yes, that is something I just said. And then Dark Horse is also getting a Dark Horse is getting a Minecraft comic, but like it's not all blocky and shit, which is weird. Like, I find it weird how normally everything in Minecraft is blocky, but it goes with the aesthetic. This comic, like, it didn't look blocky from what I saw. I just saw a cover, though, so who knows? And that's kind of like the last thing I grabbed for the news today. I hope you all enjoyed this as I go into my plugs as normal. I'd like to thank Driftaway Coffee for sending me the free coffee. Thank you once again. So far, I am enjoying this. And I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk about them for at least the next couple of episodes as I slowly make my way through the coffee they gave me. That was me finishing off the last of this cup. Then let's see, social medias. You can follow me on all social medias, so Twitter and Instagram, I should say, under the name of Not Coffee. That's coffee with a K, where you can keep up with my random thoughts and artwork I put out. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Nerds on Topic. To follow, when we post episodes and anything fun I want to post related to the show and news. And then you can follow the amazing artist who does my intro, who is on the last couple of episodes, DJ Swa, on all social medias at Swa Music. So, I hope you all enjoyed this. Once again, I like to say thank you for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe to everything I do. Share it with some friends. If you know someone who's into nerdy stuff but doesn't always have time to look up everything, and you think they might enjoy my work, enjoy the podcast, share it with them. Everyone who shares an episode is helping me out so much with getting out there. And, I need every little bit because it's fun, and I love everyone who's listening, but it's always better to have more people because more interaction always makes the show better. Going from there, what else can I say other than if you want to get in contact with the show, you'll go ahead and email us at nerdsontopic@gmail.com. Thank you all, and remember, this is Nerds on Topic, and we are not the podcast you're looking for. Bye-bye.